The sequel to Breath of the Wild has been delayed into spring 2023, disappointing everyone but surprising absolutely no one. It was already given a vague enough release date, and while it probably could have been released this year, there are two factors, one obvious and one that's admittedly speculative on my part, that caused this to happen. The series producer himself made an appearance and pretty much said, "Look, we've already played it, and it's an absolutely amazing 10 out of 10 game that's going to change the face of video games forever. But that's just not good enough. We won't be satisfied with this until it becomes at least a 15 out of 10 game. So, to reach our goal of a 20 out of 10, we're going to delay it into spring of next year to ensure that it reaches our 100 out of 10 goal, or something like that." Although I have to say, including never before seen footage of a cutscene in that video was a very smart move on Nintendo's part, because now you have significantly more attention cast towards this video, even though the entire thing basically amounts to an apology. I'm actually not too interested in the footage as much as I'm interested in what the producer actually said. He stated that the expanded world actually goes beyond the Hyrule from the first game and the floating landmasses we've already seen. So you have Hyrule, which was already huge, the aforementioned floating landmasses on top of that, and now you're saying that there's going to be even more beyond that? How big is this game, and is it related to the fact that you still haven't given us a title yet, resulting in everyone having to awkwardly refer to it as the sequel to Breath of the Wild, because apparently it contains an aspect of the game that you don't want to mention yet? This game better have the best damn bloody title of the entire franchise, considering we're having to wait this long for a title. Despite how negative I sound at the moment, I'm actually looking forward to this game, and I'm okay with having to wait until presumably the middle of this year for more about it, and until spring of next year to actually try it. It needs more work, so it's getting more work. Not too much can be done about that. Now for me to actually talk about the second reason I mentioned earlier, the speculative one. Breath of the Wild sequel probably could have been released this year, although it would have been at a lesser degree of quality and would have definitely come out during the holiday season. However, if it did come out during the holiday season, it would have had another, probably bigger problem to worry about in the form of competition. What would it be competing with, you ask? Well, it's a pretty niche series. I don't know if you've heard of it, but I'm pretty sure it goes by the name... what was it? Pocket Monsters? Yeah, Pokemon. The latest generation of everyone's favourite monster collecting series was announced with a holiday 2022 release goal. Knowing the Pokemon company, if they want something released on schedule, they'll damn well get it released on schedule, even if it meant producing heavily criticised mediocrity. This is the speculative second reason that I mentioned earlier. Going up against Pokemon is usually a bad idea no matter who you are, and it's reasonable to assume that Nintendo didn't want to risk stifling the Breath of the Wild sequel's sales numbers by launching too closely to another heavy hitter on the same console during the same season. Some may argue that Zelda still would have sold well even with the added competition, and I agree, but without the competition, Zelda is capable of selling even more than that. A lot of enthusiasts would of course go and buy Zelda as soon as possible, but not every consumer is an enthusiast. A significant portion are just parents getting a game for their kid that only have enough funds for one game. You can bet that most parents, when having to choose between a game with a boy killing monsters with a sword or a game about raising an adorable mouse, most parents are probably going with the mouse. The kid would probably be perfectly alright with that as well. It's also worth mentioning that Breath of the Wild's success was based on several factors, like how it reinvented itself, gained incredible traction through people talking about its quality, and the fact that it released alongside the latest console. Zelda actually had to try to do incredibly well. Pokemon does not have to try. Its name recognition is simply too good. They could release a completely garbage video game and still sell millions. I mean, they have been trying recently, but they don't have to. For these reasons, delaying Zelda to spring of 2023 and giving it some much needed breathing room is the right choice. Giving it more work is definitely the main reason, and my whole too close to Pokemon reason is entirely speculation, but the fact that this delay was announced after the announcement of Pokemon leads me to think that it probably had some influence, and even if it didn't, this delay was the right decision. I know I'm late to the whole situation and that this video is long, but I wanted to mention this at some point. Thank you for watching.